Hey everyone, Voltage here for the third round of the Autumnal tournament. Autumnal. It's a hard word to say. Have you ever noticed that? Anyway, this week I'm up against QUZIEL, who is a teammate of mine on the choice band Revenanhks. He's a very, very smart player, very capable. And so we'll dive right into this. First of all, apologies for a bit of a delay. You know, I've been very, very busy with the real life commitments and whatnot. I was actually just at a conference, so it's good to be back. It's good to be able to talk about some Pokemon. So this week, I wanted to try to shake it up a bit with some teams. I wanted to use Cyclint, or Cyclint as it's called. Cyclint Kitsuno was something that I was really looking to try out. So this is Banded Cyclint, and Scarf Kit. And he's got a team with no cap, so, you know, I guess it kind of boils down. I think I have a pretty good matchup in this case. Again, Cyclint's going to put in a lot of work if it can. Get rid of this Tapu Fini. And this Lele, I believe it's Scarf. It's been a little while since I watched this fight. But we'll dive right into it. So he leads with Landorus and I lead with my Cyclint just because I know for a fact that, like, that is definitely his lead. I don't mind the attack drop just because this is banded, so I'm still basically at the same attack as if I weren't. So banded, so I'm totally fine. But I switch into Chomp here on his U-turn, get that chip on him so that I can get up some rocks as well, as he goes into his Finny. Great play on his part, kind of expected. But I switch right into a Kit here because I'm not looking to get, I'm not looking to have any lose that Chomp anytime soon, because Chomp is important for you know, Hoopa, for his Landorus, and so on and so forth. So it goes for the Moonblast, and I'm going to U-turn on this Finny. I wasn't sure if I should just go for an Iron Head or not, but I decide it's not worth risking just in case he does decide to switch out into something that could threaten me. So I just go into a U-turn here, and I go into my own Lele, because Lele is really the only thing I'm going to beat this with. The problem is that I don't really expect, maybe I should have kept Lele not in there now, but I figured I would be able to live a hit or two. This is actually CM Lele, now that I think about it. I think. I gotta see. Anyway. So we go into here, and Moonblast gets the special attack drop, which really sucks. This might actually Specs Lele. Yeah, it's Specs Lele. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so it gets the special attack drop, so I can't actually beat this Finny on my own, meaning that I have to go back in the Kit here to do any kind of work. And so it goes for the Scald on my switch, and it gets the burn. So I'm already sort of down 2 Haxie bits, and I go for a Trick on the Finny. Excuse me. Problem is with that, as you'll soon see, that Finny outspeeds a lot of my team with this Choice Scarf, which is not great, and it's under Psychic Terrain, so it's fast. So I kind of set myself up a bit for failure by going for the Trick there. I should have just gone for Iron Head, but, you know, hindsight is 20/20, but, you know, it is what it is because I did set myself up for that. So I do sack my Kit here just so I can burn some turns of Psychic Terrain. And I go for a Mega Chomp here on the Scald, hoping no burn. That's good. I do get an Earthquake off, which is nice. And I'm basically just spamming Earthquake with this Garchomp. Or, excuse me, I go for Rocks here because I know that Finny's going to knock it out. Otherwise, I was just going to spam Earthquake. So now I'm down like 2 Mons to his 6. I send in my Lele again because at this point I'm like, okay, can't get much worse than this, right? As he switches into Hoopa, I just go for a Calm Mind here. It is Calm Mind. My mistake. And I just go for a Moonblast. I don't think he expected me to be CM Finny, or excuse me, Lele. I think he expected me to be Specs or something. So he probably figured I'd go for like a Psychic or a Psyshock, get a free switch in here, and just threaten me even more. I just go for a Moonblast, or a CM, and then go for a Moonblast. So I do end up knocking out the Hoopa, which was nice. In comes Chomp now. I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to outspeed this, and it's going to be able to knock me out with Earthquake, so I do have to switch. No, I stay in and sack the Finny. Maybe not the smartest play, but I go into Cyclone here, just because I threaten it with Ice Shard, I threaten it outspeeding it. It's very unlikely that that's his Scarfer. It's probably his Landorus, which is his Scarfer. So he goes into Finny here, and I go for an Icicle Crash, and it does connect. So I know that this will knock it out again, so I just click Icicle Crash again, knowing that I'll also live it, get the Spit F drop, and I miss the Crash. So I just get hit by the hacks yet again. So that was just a horrible turn for me, because now I have to switch out because Cyclint will die, and so I have to go into my Tornadus, and just hope for the best. As he switches into his Garchomp, I just click Hurricane to get any chip, and then here's what I'm thinking, right? This thing wouldn't come in unless it's probably Rockium. There's nothing really else on his team that would really be a Z-move user aside from, like, I don't know, a weird Celesteela set. So I'm figuring this is probably Rockium Z Garchomp. I am running Mountaineer on the Cyclant, so I can actually switch into rock moves without taking any damage whatsoever. It's cool, the ability Mountaineer. So I go for a U-turn here, knowing that I have speed, and I go into Cyclant on his Continental Crush. I was expecting that to come out, so I was like, hell yeah, that's amazing. Great momentum swing on my end. Go for the Ice Shard, knock it out. Spectators love it. Dab. So now I have to switch out here and I have to play really conservatively because I still have to keep this alive to beat Venusaur. I have to keep Cyclone alive to take out this guy. Greninja does put in work, but it's probably the least effective member on the team. So we're sort of making it work as needed. So Tornadus Therian's going to come in and take the Heavy Slam. I'm going to knock off the leftovers on the Celesteal as he goes for a Leech Seed. That's fine by me. I know he's going to Seed again, so I have a free switch into Gren, so I could try to, like, you know, Hydro Pump. But the Seeds do miss, which is really nice. Excuse me, Dark Pulse. So I go for Dark Pulse just because it's probably the safest bet of these things that want to switch in. If Venusaur comes in, I'm still hitting it for neutral, which honestly I was expecting. Instead, he goes for a Leech Seed to get Chip off on me, which is smart. He goes for Protect. I should have switched out here into probably Tornadus at this point, but I didn't. And I was hoping for a flinch here. I don't get it. Kind of bad practice to do so. Excuse me, my god. So I'm going to switch back out into Tornadus on his Protect. And we're going to go from there. Ugh, sorry. Very professional today. And so now I just go for a Hurricane on the potential switch as he just keeps seeding me. I'm just trying to get as much chip off on this as possible as I switch back into Gren as he just keeps seeding. And he's going to Protect here. No, he goes for a Pump. I guess he expected me to switch, which is good for me. I do get the Battle Bond. I am pretty weak, though. In comes this Scarfer. I know it's a Scarfer, so I have to switch into something that can, like, either take the hit or not. So, or I can sack this. So I switch back into Tornadus on perhaps either a U-turn or Earthquake. And a U-turns into Venusaur. So I do have a free click for Hurricane right here, and I do go for it. And it goes pretty well. The Sludge Bomb comes out now. Unfortunately, I get poisoned, as if the hacks wasn't any worse in this game. And I miss Hurricane there, so that basically cements me in a very much losing position, since now Hurricane he'll just synthesis off and basically take out this Tornadus Therian. I send an Ashgren just to try to get some chip with Dark Pulse. As you'll see here, I go for a Dark Pulse on the Finny. That'll knock that out. And then Landorus will come in, and basically I just keep clicking Dark Pulse because I'm Specs Greninja. Actually, no, he clicks Superpower, though. I wasn't expecting that, which is kind of neat. Anyway, I just go into Cyclant, and I basically am forced to click Icicle Crash or Ice Shard here if I want to at all have any chance of being that Landorus, but I don't. And I go for Ice Shard, and that is going to knock out me with Sludge Bomb. So unfortunately, I do take the L Game 1. Which is, you know, really unfortunate. There were a lot of parts of this match that were very hacksy against me. That's not to say that QUZIEL did not make some amazing plays. I just think that, you know, missing Hurricane, getting the special attack drop really early on, getting poisoned, getting burned with Kit, all of those were really contributing factors to my loss in this one. So we both, like, message each other afterwards like, hey, let's hope there's not nearly as much hacks next round because that's no fun. Anyway, so we bring into the next game. I bring this Mega Crucible team that, again, I had passed me, another really cool one. And, you know, it's kind of neat. It's got Tomahawk, which is kind of neat, too. And he's got this balance thing with Colossal Oil on it, which is kind of neat. So that's pretty fun. I realize right out of the gate that I'm going to have a weird matchup here. Necturna can put in a lot of work if I do it well. Weavile can put in work if I do it well. One of the things I wish I had known from Agena, and this is my own fault too, I guess it's not his fault, I'm not insinuating anything, is that Mega Crucible is terrible. Regular Crucible at least has Magic Guard, and so you can at least switch in and set up rocks, it has Regenerator, so you can use it as a pivot more. So I wish I would have thought that through a little bit more before going into this fight. But all things considered, let's dive in for a better round 2, as he leads Kartana and I lead Krill. Bad thing, I immediately switched to Tomahawk, because Tomahawk is basically this blanket check for everything. So I just switched that in. He can't stay in, he goes for Clef. I just click Hurricane because I'm just trying to get chip on anything as this Clef comes in. It's obvious that this is his rocks, so I just go into my Mega Crucible. I'm figuring what I can do is I can threaten Gunk Shot, or I can set up my own rocks. As he goes back into his cart, I Mega, and I go for my own rocks here, so that's going to be good. And then I switch immediately back into Tomahawk. Like, there's no reason to not go into Tomahawk whenever Kartana comes in. Because now, as well, I can click Roost whenever I need to. which I do in this case. As Rotom comes in, that's really interesting for me, because I can go to my Krill and like try to catch him on doubles. As he does double into Pajantum, I think he maybe expected Neck to come out or something, but I just go for an Ice Beam on his Never-Ending Nightmare. Krill will live this hit, which is why I stayed in with it as well, so I can 2H KO with an Ice Beam. I did calc that, by the way. So Colossal comes in. He's going to go for Sucker Punch here. I kind of figured that was coming. I didn't want to, like, worry about that too much. And he does get the burn. So now Tomahawk is going to come in. And once again, Tomahawk is just really good in this matchup, as I do threaten it. And I'm just going to go for Rapid Spin to get rid of my rocks. And then I'm going to go for, I believe it's All Out Pummeling on this Rotom. It doesn't quite knock it out, unfortunately. My calcs I thought my calcs had it knock out, which is a really unfortunate for me, because I was under the assumption that All Out Pummeling would knock it out. So now I had to play a bit on the backup game. So I go into Equilibria here on his Clefable. His Clefable gets rocks again, as I click Doom Desire on his Fire Blast. That does 0, but it does burn me, which is annoying, because that means I do lose my Leftovers recovery. Not too bad, but I do go for Flash Cannon on the Clef. So basically, I'm just trying to do anything I can to really put work on his team. As I go for a Protect here, just because I know that Doom Desire will come in and knock out the Clefable. It's a bit of a shame that Doom Desire wasn't used in a more advantageous situation, but like, QUZIEL knew that, so no point in like trying to get that. As he goes for Autotomize on the Celesteela, I honestly was not expecting that, and that really threw me off. As I go for another Doom Desire here, I Protect here on his, whatever he wants to do in this case. I figured he'd have Fire Blast, so he'd go for it. That's fine with me. What I can do is I can effectively get some more chip off this using Flash Cannon, and then Doom Desire is going to also attack that, and it's going to do a lot. So I do end up getting a good amount of chip on Celesteela, to the point where it is revengeable with Weavile, which I do end up going into here, since Ice Shard from Weavile will in fact knock it out. That was a very, very close call for me. That could have easily swept my team. So Cart comes in once again, and I just go right back into Tomahawk, as usual. The thing is, Cart now almost knocks out this Tomahawk, and it will be able to do so with the rocks damage. So it does get that attack boost again. As I go into Necked here, now that he's locked into Leaf Blade, so here's the thing. He's into Leaf Blade. He doesn't know what set I am. He might think I'm Shell Smash or something. I'm actually sub Shift Gear. So, like, basically, he goes into Colossal here. He doesn't know I'm sub, though. I go for a Shadow Claw. So yeah, I'm just trying to get any like crit damage, and I'm alluding to the fact of what I'm gonna do next, because he's gonna go for a Sucker Punch here. Like, I know for a fact he's gonna go for a Sucker Punch here. Without fail, it's gonna be that. So I sub here on his Sucker Punch, so I'm able to do like a little bit more. And this is Hornleech Necturna as well, so like it's very possible that I can easily like knock this thing out, and Kartana's the only thing really stopping me from outright winning. The thing is, though, this Kartana is obviously Scarf Kartana. It's got Leaf Blade, probably Smart Strike, probably Sacred Sword, probably Knockoff. So he could go for a Knockoff here and fuck me up. He could go for a Smart Strike here, which is probably his best play. Or he could just, like, misplay and click Leaf Blade. But obviously that's not going to happen, because he's going to go for a Knockoff here, knocking out my Necturna. In hindsight, maybe I could have gone to Crucibel, but Crucibel can't touch this thing. Didn't want to go into Weavile either, just because it would get 2 HKO'd by Knockoff. So I was kind of in a tricky situation. And now I have to go into Cruci, and I really miss Head Change Cruci. So I basically have to go for Stone Edge, hope everything works, and then that allows him to switch out, come in, and use Smart Strike, unfortunately, to sweep through my team. Getting the crit. Crit didn't matter in this case, I don't think. So naturally, my last hope is Weavile. Weavile Ice Shard for crit, doesn't even knock it out. So that's going to be game. Unfortunately, I do lose in 2 games, thus ending my tournament run. But that's okay, I made it to the 3rd round, that's pretty good. After this, it was the semis, and QUZIEL actually made it to the finals, where they lost to Reach Zero. So Quiz, very good games. Thank you for all tuning into this entirely interesting series of Cap. I hope you'll stick around for more stuff, because I guarantee there's going to be some Gen 7 NFE tournament coverage coming up real soon. Anyway, if I can talk, until next time, everyone, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.